Are you feeling an unshakable fatigue that no amount of rest seems to fix? What if I told you this isn't ordinary exhaustion? You wake up feeling heavier than when you went to sleep. Your limbs feel like lead, and your mind feels foggy, even though you haven't done anything physically demanding. You drink water, you take vitamins, you sleep early, but the deep draining sensation remains. The world looks at this and calls it depression. They label it burnout, stress, or even laziness. They tell you to just snap out of it. But for a chosen one, this is not a breakdown. This is the great edit. While everyone else is merely sleeping, you are being worked on. You are not sick. You are under construction. This profound weariness is the undeniable proof of a massive internal shift. You aren't running out of energy. You are channeling all of it to build a new container. You are literally forging a new spiritual DNA to carry the heavy glory that is about to enter your life. Your old vessel is being dismantled so your new power can find a home. You aren't failing. You are upgrading. Chosen one, before we decode the specific symptoms, I need you to make a choice. If you felt that heaviness I just described, that deep exhaustion no one else understands, do not let the algorithm scroll you away from this truth. Press subscribe right now. You know exactly how the enemy works. He loves to distract you the moment you finally find the clarity you've been praying for. Don't let him snatch this confirmation from you. Lock it in. The deep draining V's, the Divian download. We need to get very specific about what is happening to your body right now, because vague reassurance isn't enough. You need to know that what you are feeling is real. This isn't just about needing a nap. This is about holy fatigue, and it comes with a very specific set of signatures that medical doctors often miss. First, pay attention to your ears. Many of you are experiencing the sudden, sharp ringing or a change in pressure, almost like you are underwater. It happens when the room is totally quiet. You might check your appliances or think it's tinnitus, but it comes and goes with a strange rhythm. That is not a medical defect. That is your spiritual antenna being tuned to a higher frequency. You are physically hearing the shift in your reality. Then there's the heat. You might be sitting in a cool room and suddenly feel a wave of warmth rising up your spine or settling in the center of your chest. It's not a fever. It's an activation. Your spinal column is the main highway for your nervous system, and right now, it is conducting more spiritual electricity than it was ever designed to handle. Your body is heating up because it is processing raw power. Notice your relationship with food and noise. This is one of the clearest signs. Suddenly, foods you used to love taste like cardboard or make you feel heavy and sluggish immediately after eating. Your body is rejecting anything with a dead vibration because it is trying to lighten itself. The same happens with noise. You walk into a crowded mall or a loud restaurant, and within 10 minutes, you feel completely drained, like someone pulled the plug on your battery. You aren't becoming antisocial. You are becoming highly sensitive to chaotic energy. So why is this happening? Why does the upgrade have to feel so heavy? Here is the truth. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. If you do, the skins burst. For most of your life, your body has been running on survival mode. You were built to survive trauma, to endure stress, to fight battles, and to stay alert for danger. Your nervous system was wired for fight or flight. That was your old vessel. It was useful for protecting you in the world you are leaving behind, but it is useless for where you are going. The destiny God has for you requires creation mode. You are moving into a season of miracles, manifestation, and high-level authority. A nervous system wired for panic cannot hold peace. A body addicted to adrenaline cannot hold the glory. So, before the new power can settle in, the old wiring has to be ripped out. This is why you feel so exhausted. Your body is literally metabolizing your old trauma and flushing it out of your cells to make space for your new spiritual DNA. It takes a massive amount of caloric and energetic effort to rewrite your biology. You are burning energy just sitting on the couch because the internal work is more intense than running a marathon. If you feel like you are shutting down, you are correct, but you need to reframe what that means. Think about your phone or computer. When it needs a major operating system update, what happens? It shuts down. The screen goes black. You can't make calls, you can't open apps, and it looks like the device is dead. But it's not dead. It's rebooting. It has to go offline to install the new features. Right now, you are in the reboot phase. The screen of your life feels black. You feel unproductive. You feel offline from the rest of the world. But deep within your system, the new code is being written. You are not broken, chosen one. You are simply restarting. The alchemy of simply starting, the alchemy of spiritual DNA. Now that you understand your body is rebooting, we need to look at the software being installed. We talk about DNA in a biological sense: eye color, height, blood type. But there is a deeper layer that science is just beginning to brush against, and that is your spiritual DNA. This is the code of your destiny. It is the invisible blueprint that dictates how much light you can hold, how much authority you carry, and the magnitude of the purpose you were born to fulfill. For years, you have been operating on a default setting. This default code wasn't written by you. It was written by your history. It carries the fears of your ancestors, the limitations of your parents, and the trauma of your bloodline. We often call these generational curses, but let's be practical. It is data. It is information stored in your cells that tells you to be afraid when things get too good, or to shrink back when you should stand tall. This is where the exhaustion truly comes from. You are not just tired from your day job. You are tired because you are fighting a biological war against your own history. The fatigue you feel is the physical sensation of scrubbing that old code out of your bloodline. You are the cycle breaker. You are the one chosen to stand in the gap and say, "This stops with me." Do you realize how much energy it takes to rewrite history? When you choose to heal, you are literally reprogramming the cellular memory that has been passed down for centuries. You are telling your body to forget the fear it inherited and to learn a new language of faith. That is why you feel heavy. You are carrying the weight of a lineage while simultaneously building the bridge to a new legacy. This process cannot happen in comfort. That is why we call it the forge. If you have ever seen a blacksmith work, you know that cold metal cannot be shaped. You can hit it with a hammer all day, and it will not move. It has to be put in the fire. It has to be heated until it glows red, until it becomes soft and malleable. Only then can the blacksmith shape it into a sword or a shield. The trials you have been facing, the confusion, the sudden loss of relationships, the feeling that your life has been turned upside down, that is not punishment. That is the fire. You are in the furnace of affliction because God is preparing to shape you into something sharp. He is melting down the old version of you, the one that was timid, the one that sought approval, the one that compromised so that he can mold you into a weapon of light. The heat is uncomfortable. It feels like you are losing yourself. In a way, you are. You are losing the artificial self that the world created. The confusion you feel isn't because you are lost. It is because your old structure is melting away and the new structure hasn't hardened yet. You are in the liquid state. This is the most vulnerable place to be, but it is also the place where transformation happens. Most people run from the heat. When life gets hard, they retreat to what is familiar. They choose the old code because it is comfortable. But you are different. You are staying in the fire. You are enduring the pressure. And because you are willing to withstand this heat, you are being refined into pure gold. The impurities, the doubt, the fear, the need for validation are being burned off. What remains will be a new substance, a new DNA. You are not just surviving the season, you are being alchemized. You are turning the lead of your past into the gold of your future. So when you feel the burn of life pressing in on you, do not panic. Do not think God has abandoned you. Remind yourself, I am in the forge. I am not burning up. I am being shaped. USVS. TEM separation. As your internal structure changes, your external world will begin to collapse. This is the part of the process that scares people the most. You look around and you realize your circle is shrinking. Friends you have known for 10 years suddenly stop calling. Family members you used to be close with now feel like strangers. Invitations stop coming and the phone stays quiet. Your first instinct is to panic. You think, what is wrong with me? Why is everyone leaving? You might try to chase them or force connections that are clearly broken, but you need to stop. This isolation is not an accident, and it is certainly not a punishment. It is a safety protocol. Think about what happens in a hospital when a patient undergoes a major, life-saving transplant. They are put in isolation. They are placed in a sterile room where no visitors are allowed. Why? Because their system is open and vulnerable. They are in a delicate state of transition, and any outside germ or bacteria could be fatal to the process. Right now, you are on the spiritual operating table. You are forging a new spiritual DNA. You are literally radioactive with God's power. The energy moving through you is intense, volatile, and holy. If you were surrounded by the noise and opinions of others right now, it would contaminate the work God is doing. He has hidden you away to protect the new thing He is growing inside you. You must be alone because your focus needs to be undivided. This brings us to the social shift you are feeling. Have you noticed that you can no longer tolerate things that used to be normal? In the past, you could sit around for hours engaging in small talk, listening to gossip, or participating in family drama. It was just what people did. But now, it feels physically unbearable. When someone starts complaining or speaking negatively about others, you don't just feel annoyed, you feel drained. It feels like the life is being sucked out of your body. You might get a headache, your stomach might turn, or you just feel a desperate need to leave the room. This is not you being arrogant. This is you sensing energy in a way you never did before. Here is the reality. The people around you are still operating on the old code. They are running the default programming of the world, the Matrix programming. This code is built on fear, scarcity, competition, and distraction. It thrives on drama and noise. You, however, are writing a new code. Your spirit is tuning into a frequency of purpose, vision, and high-level peace. These two frequencies cannot exist in the same space without friction. It is like trying to run a brand new high-speed software on a computer from the 1990s. It simply won't work. The system will crash. The friction you feel with old friends isn't personal hostility. It is energetic incompatibility. They are speaking a language you no longer understand, and you are radiating a light that blinds them. They might say you've changed or that you're acting holier than thou. Let them talk. They are reacting to the gap widening between where they are and where you are going. You are not losing friends. You are outgrowing their energetic capacity. A container the size of a cup cannot hold the ocean. As you expand, the people who were only big enough for your smaller self will naturally fall away. Do not grieve them. Do not try to shrink yourself to fit back into their lives. This isolation is temporary. It is the cocoon phase. You are alone because you are changing form. Accept the silence. Embrace the solitude. The people who are meant for your future are being prepared just as you are, but you will not meet them until you finish this upgrade. For now, let the separation happen. It is creating the space for your new tribe to enter. I know you're used to walking this path alone. I know you've been carrying this weight in silence because no one around you gets it. But you didn't stumble upon this video by mistake. If your spirit feels safe here, hit that subscribe button. It is not noble to suffer in solitude when God has placed a tribe right here for you. Don't walk back out into the cold when you finally found the fire. Stay with us. Symptoms of the spiritual upgrade. We have talked about the fatigue and the social isolation, but now we need to address the most confusing part of this entire process. The detox. This is the phase where things get messy. This is where your body and your emotions seem to go haywire, leaving you wondering if you are actually losing your mind. You aren't. You are purging. Let's start with the emotional fluctuations, specifically the crying spells. Have you found yourself bursting into tears for absolutely no reason? You might be washing dishes, driving your car, or simply sitting in silence, and suddenly a wave of grief hits you. You aren't sad about anything specific. You aren't depressed, but the tears just won't stop flowing. In the medical world, they might call this hormonal imbalance or mood instability. But in the spiritual forge, this is known as a cellular release. You need to understand that trauma is not just a memory stored in your brain. It is energy stored in your body. Every time you were rejected, every time you were scared, every time you had to swallow your voice, that energy got trapped in your cells. As your new spiritual DNA begins to form, it vibrates at a much higher frequency than that old trauma. It acts like a pressure washer. It pushes that old stagnant pain out of your system. Those tears are not sadness. They are liquid trauma leaving your body. You are physically crying out the pain of your ancestors and your past self. Do not stop it. Let it flow. It is cleaning the vessel. Then there is the phenomenon of the night watch. How many of you are waking up between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. every single night? You jolt awake, completely alert, as if someone called your name. You look at the clock, and it's always the same time. You try to go back to sleep, but you can't. This is not insomnia. This is an appointment. In spiritual terms, the hours between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. are when the veil between the physical world and the spiritual realm is the thinnest. The distractions of the world are asleep. The chaotic energy of the day has settled. God wakes you up at this hour because your spirit is open to receive a download that is too heavy to transfer during the noise of the day. You are being updated while the world sleeps. Instead of fighting for sleep, sit up. Listen. You are on the night shift for the kingdom. You may also notice strange changes in your vision. You might see flashes of light in the corner of your eyes, sparkles that look like visual snow or shadows moving in your peripheral vision. You check your eyes, and everything is fine. This is your spiritual sight coming online. Your physical eyes are adjusting to seeing energy. You are beginning to perceive the reality that exists behind the curtain of the material world. It can be startling, but it is a sign that your discernment is sharpening. Finally, we have to talk about the spiritual flu. This is when you feel physically sick, but you aren't actually sick. Your joints ache, your lower back throbs, your neck is stiff, and you feel a general malaise, like you are coming down with a virus. But you go to the doctor, they run tests, and they tell you there is nothing wrong with you. Think back to when you were a child. Do you remember growing pains? You would wake up with your legs aching because your bones were growing faster than your muscles could keep up. That is exactly what is happening to you now, but on a spiritual level. Your spirit is expanding. It is becoming larger, wider, and more powerful. Your physical body is the container for this spirit, and right now, the container is being stretched to its limit. The aches you feel are the tension of expansion. You are carrying a heavier weight of glory, and your physical frame is adjusting to support it. You aren't weak. You are stretching. This flu is the friction of your finite body trying to house an infinite purpose. Do not medicate these symptoms away without asking what they are trying to tell you. Your body is doing the hard work of making room for the new you. Treat it with kindness, but do not treat it like a sickness. It is the evidence of your growth. Imbarakhanj, your new blueprint. So you know you are upgrading. You know the aches, the tears, and the isolation are part of the plan. But what do you actually do while this is happening? Do you just lie there and suffer until it is over? No, you are a partner in this process. You have to participate in your own birth. There are practical ways to assist the forge so that the heat doesn't burn you, but instead refines you faster. Let's get very practical. The first tool is water. It sounds too simple, right? You want a deep spiritual revelation, and I am telling you to drink water. But listen closely, you are an energetic being. The new spiritual DNA being written into your system is essentially a high-voltage electrical code. God is sending massive downloads of information and power into your spirit. In the physical world, water is a conductor of electricity. If your body is dehydrated, you are dry. The energy cannot flow through you. It gets stuck. This is often why you get those tension headaches or that feeling of brain fog during a spiritual shift. It is because the download is trying to come through, but the wires are dry. You need to keep your vessel hydrated to let the current move freely. When you drink water with intention, you are literally cooling the engine and clearing the pathways for the Holy Spirit to move through your cells. Next, we have to deal with the guilt. The enemy loves to whisper to you that you are being lazy. You look at your to-do list, and it is piling up. You see others grinding, hustling, and running around, and you feel shame because you can barely get out of bed. You need to kill that mindset immediately. You must reframe rest as worship. When you lie down because your body is heavy, you are not checking out of life. You are checking into the Spirit. You are holding space for God to work. Think of it like a patient recovering from surgery. If a patient gets up too early and tries to run a marathon, they rip their stitches. They ruin the surgeon's work. By resting, the patient is actually helping the surgeon. When you surrender to the nap or the quiet evening, you are saying, God, I trust you enough to stop striving. I trust that while I rest, you are building. That is not laziness. That is active, strategic stillness. You are guarding the work being done on your insides. Stop apologizing for the time you need to heal. Finally, you need to learn the difference between surrender and resistance. A lot of the pain you are feeling, the extreme exhaustion, the frustration, is not coming from the upgrade itself. It is coming from your resistance to it. You are trying to swim upstream. The river of God's will is moving you toward a new destiny, but you are thrashing around, trying to grab onto the banks of your old life. You are trying to maintain your old pace, your old social life, and your old commitments, while God is trying to slow you down. That resistance creates friction, and friction creates burn. Imagine you are in a river. If you try to swim against the current, you will drown in exhaustion. But if you flip over on your back and just float, the water carries you. You are still moving. In fact, you are moving faster than if you swam, but you aren't using your own effort. That is what this season requires. Float. When the wave of fatigue hits, don't fight it with coffee and willpower. Ride it. When the desire to be alone hits, don't fight it with forced socialization. Go into your room. Stop trying to fix the way you feel and start flowing with it. The current knows where it is going. Your only job is to trust the water. Destine Unlocked. We have talked about the struggle, the fatigue, and the isolation. But what is it all for? Why would God put you through this intense reconstruction? He isn't doing it just to make you stronger. He is doing it to make you magnetic. When this DNA upgrade is finished, the way you exist in the world will fundamentally change. You are moving from a life of chasing to a life of attracting. Think about your old life. You had to hustle for everything. You had to explain yourself, force doors open, and beg for opportunities. That was because your old vessel was operating on human effort. But this new spiritual DNA carries a divine gravity. When the upgrade is complete, you won't have to chase blessings anymore. Your new magnetic field will pull them in. You will walk into a room, and the atmosphere will shift without you saying the word. People will turn their heads. Opportunities will find you. You will notice the things you struggled with for years, finances, relationships, health, suddenly align with ease. It won't be because you are working harder. It will be because you are vibrating higher. You are becoming a walking open door. With this new DNA comes a set of abilities that the world cannot explain. The first thing you will notice is a terrifyingly accurate intuition. In the past, you guessed, you wondered, you doubted. But the new, you will just know. You will look at a person and instantly know their intentions. You will look at a situation and see the outcome before it happens. This is the prophetic edge coming online. It's like having the cheat codes to reality. You will navigate life with a precision that confuses people because your internal GPS is finally connected directly to the source. Then there is the peace. But this isn't the fragile peace you used to have. The kind that breaks the moment something goes wrong. This is a weaponized peace. It is a calm so deep and so heavy that it actually intimidates your enemies. When chaos breaks out around you, you won't flinch. You won't react. You will stand in absolute stillness. That kind of stability terrifies the enemy because it shows that you are no longer controlled by external circumstances. Your new DNA is burnout-proof and fear-proof. Finally, we have to address the us versus them victory. For a long time, people have whispered about you. They saw your fatigue and called it laziness. They saw your isolation and called it antisocial. They mocked you while you were in the cocoon, but they didn't understand the biology of an eagle. When an eagle gets old, its beak gets bent, its talons get dull, and its feathers get heavy. It looks tattered. It looks weak. It has to fly to a mountaintop and go through a painful process of plucking out the old feathers and breaking off the old beak so new ones can grow. During that time, it looks like it is dying, but it isn't dying. It is renewing its youth. You have been on the mountain. You have looked tattered. You have looked tired. But the season of plucking is over. You are about to descend from that mountain with new feathers and sharp talons. The very people who mocked your tiredness are going to stand back in awe of your strength. They will ask, "How did you do it?" They won't understand that while they were judging the process, you were quietly forging the power that will now lead them. The fatigue was the price of admission for the authority you are about to carry. You paid it. Now, get ready to fly. The final Eitzabate. The spinal's the doubt, once and for all. You are not losing your mind, and you are certainly not falling behind. Every ounce of exhaustion you feel is simply evidence of the massive construction happening within your spirit. You are not tired. You are transforming. You are not broken. You are being built. The old you has finished its course, and the new you is fighting to take its first breath. Trust the timing of your body. It knows exactly what it is doing. Now, I need you to do something to lock this in. Faith requires action. You cannot just listen to this truth. You have to agree with it. If you accept this new spiritual DNA and you are ready to stop fighting the process, make a declaration right now. Don't just watch this video and scroll away. Seal it. Go to the comments and write these exact words, "I am Ograding." By writing it, you are authorizing the completion of this work in your life. You are telling the spiritual realm that you are no longer resisting the change, but welcoming the power. Let me pray over you before you go. I speak supernatural strength into your physical body right now. I command the overwhelming heaviness to lift and be replaced by divine endurance. May your nervous system settle into deep peace. May your sleep be restorative, and may your mind find clarity in the silence. You will survive the forge. You will finish this upgrade. And you will walk in a power the world is not ready for. Stay strong, chosen one. Your time is now. And listen, the fact that you made it to the very end of this message signifies something. It means your spirit recognized the truth. Do not walk away from this encounter without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it anchors you to the new path God is opening up. Join this family. Your breakthrough might be in the very next video, and I don't want you to be the one who missed it.